My name's Amanda Brown. I'm the Weight Loss and Wellness Dietitian here for Johnson Memorial. Welcome to our lunch and learn for August. It's going to be about brain health, and I have here Stacy Faith. She's from the Johnson County Purdue Extension, and I'll let her take it away. All right.
I actually went to school with her, so it's kind of fun to see her again. We went to Ball State together, so I think you were a year above me.
Yes.
Yep. So that's fun. So my name is Stacy Faith, as she was saying. I actually just moved here like 2 months ago, so I'm still kind of new. So this is kind of like my first official program with the Johnson County, so that's exciting. Nutrition, so this is my passion. So if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, please let me know. This is actually from the North Dakota State University Extension. So that's the beauty of the extension, is we love to like borrow each other's things. So I think the Nourish series has like five or six different series. So if you ever want to come back, I can do some more. So they have some really great information. All of our information is research based, so that's really great. But today we're going to be doing Nourish Your Brain. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever are kind of in this area or have worked with patients that have had kind of some cognitive development issues or anything like that. But we'll be focusing on the nutrition aspect of it. So I do have to ask you, so have you guys ever walked into a room and just completely forgotten of what you were supposed to be doing? I'm pretty sure I did that this morning.
None of us have.
No, never. So, you know, it can be pretty common, like you're going in and you're like, okay, where did I put my keys? Are they in my purse? I don't know where I put them. You know, that's pretty common, but there are some individuals that have lost that ability to do common everyday things. And, you know, basic things like, you know, doing the laundry or washing the dishes, you know, they just lose those, or if they forget someone's name. So that's when it becomes more of an issue. So that's kind of what today's focus is going to be on, is to know what can we do to help prevent that as we're aging. I'm going to try to juggle these two things. All right, so when we're talking about brain health and aging, you know, as we age, there are some studies out there that have shown with different cognitive skills, what can we do to improve those? And, you know, as we age, our brain functions, it does slow a little bit, but there are some ways to help with that. There is a study that showed that cognitive decline can begin as early as 20 years old. So that's kind of crazy because we're all over 20. And, you know, it can slowly decline after that age as well. Not all of our cognitive functions decline as early. Stuff like our performance, like vocabulary, you know, or some other things, just some general knowledge, that can consistently increase up to the age of 60. So we are able to increase some things, but just the way that our brain makes connections, that's what can slow over time, and that's where we kind of need to focus on. That's kind of a funny picture too. I don't know if you can read it. It says, may I be excused, my brain is full. All right, so when we go, and I know probably all of you have heard about the oxidative damage that can develop. When our bodies use oxygens, that byproduct can cause the oxidative damage, and that can also include our brain cells. So a lot of different things can cause that. You know, we have that pollution, the smoke, there's the UV light, inflammation. There's a lot of different causes that can result in that damage, especially to the brain. But fortunately, we have the wonderful antioxidants, so that's what we're going to be focusing a lot today on. You know, what foods have antioxidants, and how can we increase that in our diet to help decrease that cognitive decline as we age. So kind of going into more the oxidative damage control, you know, the oxidative damage, it can contribute to heart disease, diabetes, cancer. There's some other things that can go on there, and it is linked to that oxidative damage. So our brain uses that oxygen, and it can be affected by that damage as well. So that's why we want to focus on that. Can you guys, some of you guys are eating, can you guys throw out some foods that have antioxidants in it? Or that are antioxidant rich?
Blueberries.
Yep, blueberries. How about some more? No? All right, well, we're going to be going over them. So when you guys are looking at this picture, these are all antioxidant-rich foods. These were ones that were actually tested by the USDA, so that's why they're up here right now. if you guys were able to, which one do you think has the highest antioxidant property?
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate?
Kidney beans.
Which one? Is any other guesses?
Beans.
Beans?
Kidney beans.
Okay. Do you have any other guesses? Of dark chocolate and beans? It's actually the cacao beans. That's going to have the highest antioxidant.
That's beans.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So when you're just basically, it goes highest to lowest. You have your cacao beans, dark chocolate, kidney beans, and then it goes this way. So then we have our soybeans, dried plums, blueberries, and apples. So that's like the highest from lowest. Obviously, there's lots of other fruits, vegetables, and foods that do have antioxidant rich. These are just the ones, like I said earlier, that were tested by USDA. So, so these are really great, foods that we want to increase in our diet. I know a lot of people are looking at that dark chocolate. They're like, yes, chocolate is high in antioxidant. I knew it. So, though 1 ounce is what's going to be beneficial per day, so don't go gorging on chocolate today, even though we do love our chocolate. So I say everything in moderation. Yeah.
How much would you say an ounce is? I mean, like, without having to figure everything out.
Like, if you're looking at like a piece, you might be able to have like a good example, like a little piece of dice or something would be about an ounce. I would say a visual, like a die, like a piece of dice, or like your thumb, like probably like the tip of your thumb, something that's probably about an ounce. If you have another example.
Would you mean like how many antioxidants are in there?
No, an ounce is like how square or
Yeah.
Usually, like if you're looking at a Hershey bar, I would say maybe 2 squares would be an ounce. 2 to 3 of those squares. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, if you're gonna have a Dove chocolate, that's probably equivalent to an ounce. That's what I would, or maybe like 2 or 3 of those. So, yeah. And it's gonna have it on those serving sizes, how much an ounce is too. So yeah, that's a good question though. So don't eat the whole chocolate bar every day. All right. So some other foods that are rich in antioxidants are vitamin C. So you can find those in all of these foods that are listed here. So those are going to be some really great ways to incorporate those into our diets as well. We also have vitamin E. Those are going to be, our foods listed here. A lot of foods that are fortified, like our cereals, those are going to be fortified with vitamin E. A lot of our healthy fats, so our olive oil, canola oil, corn oil, those kind of oils are going to be, they're going to incorporate that vitamin E naturally in there as well. So those are going to have those great antioxidants that are very good for our brain health too. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions yet? I don't want to feel like I'm just kind of rushing through everything. Yeah?
What was that first bean? What do you call it? Cocoa or?
Oh, cacao. That's like it's like cacao is like the first official portion of chocolate. So that's like the cacao bean off of that tree, or I think it grows that tree. But it's the cacao bean.
Just to eat it, is it
It's very bitter. It's very, very bitter. You could definitely try to if you wanted to throw it in they have like cacao, like the nibs. Those are really bitter as well. That's why usually chocolate, it's going to have a little bit more sugar added to it just to sweeten it up a little bit because it does have that bite to it. But yeah, the cacao bean is what comes off of that original plant or tree. Yeah, that's a good question though, because a lot of people don't hear that and they're thinking cocoa is spelled wrong, but it actually is. It's cacao bean, and then it goes into like the nib, and then it goes into that process of making the chocolate and adding the sugar, and you have a lot of different kinds of chocolate too. So that's a good question. All right. So when we're talking about B vitamins, the ones that we really like to key in on are the B12 and the folate, especially with our brain health, which is what we're talking about today. So we're going to be focusing on those. So our B12s, those are going to be found in a lot of our protein foods. So your egg, your fish, poultry, meats, and also fortified breakfast cereals are going to have that B12 as well. So that's going to be a great way, especially if you have those vegetarians that don't eat meat. Those fortified cereals and fortified foods are going to be really great options for them. And then of course you have the folate, another B vitamin that's going to be found in your green leafy vegetables, your fruits, some of those edible beans, OJ, and then strawberries as well is going to have some great sources. And of course your breads, some grains, rice, and of course the fortified cereals are going to have that folic acid as well. So very great options if you do have someone that is a vegetarian and that needs those options. So to go along with this, there are Low levels of B vitamins, those have been leaked with that cognitive decline, so that's why we like to focus in on these. Even the fortified foods that have that folate and B12, poor folate status, it still affects 5 to 10% of the middle age to older adults. So even though it is fortified, it's still going to affect those that are going to have that decline. To prevent that deficiency, you want to get at least 3 to 4 servings of these a week. That's going to help decrease that decline and try to get those nutrients in you that are going to be very beneficial. So without looking at the screen, what has beta-carotenoids in it? What comes to mind? Carrots, our sweet potatoes, kale and spinach also. So anything with those really dark pigments that are the red, the orange, and those yellow pigments are going to be really great. So those real dark, deep colors, so all of these that are listed here, those are going to be really great. And as we know, those beta-carotenes are going to be that precursor to vitamin A. So these are all going to be really great antioxidants as well. And of course, you guys talked about blueberries, so that was one that was listed out. There are some recent studies, and especially one that was done in 2005. That study was showing that mice that were fed blueberries, they actually had a reverse of that age-related declines in their cognitive function. So there's still studies going on about this because it is more recent, but that is very positive sign. So, adding a half a cup of blueberry to your diet every day as your fruit serving, that's going to be really great, beneficial. Not only are you you're not only benefiting from all the other vitamins that are in there, but also with that cognitive function as well, and helping that increase as we're aging. Some other things you can do, you can have some dried blueberries, put them in like a trail mix is a really great option. And I know I gave you guys there's 3 different blueberry recipes in there, so definitely try those. So those are going to be really great. Throw them into smoothies. There's some really great ones. There is another note. Researchers at the USDA Human Nutrition Research Center, they're actually exploring selenium content and potential health benefits at the North Dakota crops and livestock. So there's some more research going on as far as the selenium-rich foods. So that's pretty exciting. And of course, we have our omega-3 fatty acids, and I know those are becoming a lot more popular these days too. We have the DHAs, which those are the fatty acid found mostly in the brain. This is a very important function for our cognitive function as well as our mood control too. So these are going to be very essential for our brain health. A deficiency of the DHA, it's linked to an increased risk of developing dementia. So that's why omega-3s is definitely big into our brain health diet as well, among all the other nutrients that we were just talking about too. So kind of continuing with those, these are going to be some really rich foods that are rich in that omega-3s. Obviously, omega-3s, we think fish. They're not only in fish because we have a lot of people that aren't really seafood people. I'm not really a huge seafood fan. I like the more mild fish, but there are people that they don't want to eat that. So there are some other options. You have your flaxseed oils, your walnuts, soybean oil. Those are going to be some really great options and foods for those that aren't really a fan of those. So you want to get at least 2 servings a week. So there's different ways you can have, a spinach salad topped with some walnuts on there, or instead of using, we're going to have an example here in a second, but using some olive oil instead of frying things. There's some different options that you can do too. So we're going to have an example here in a little bit. Let's see. Also substituting canola oil for like your butters and margarines is going to be a really great way to get in some omega-3s as well. All right, so Dr. Rosenberg, he is from Tufts Human Nutrition Research Center, and he just has a quote here, just good, but cardiovascular health goes in hand with brain function. So a heart-healthy diet actually goes really equivalent to a brain-healthy diet. So when we're talking about, we'll go into more detail about this, but pretty much eating those heart-healthy foods is really going to be beneficial for our brain as well. So we've talked about the omega fatty acids. We've talked about some really healthy things that we do talk about for heart health. Foods that do decrease blood flow, it decreases the nutrients and the oxygen that are supplied to the brain. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So when we are talking about eating a heart-healthy diet, you know, we're wanting to minimize those saturated and trans fats, as we hear all the time. So those are those unhealthy fats. They decrease that blood flow to our heart and our brain. So again, those two do go very well together. So you just want to make sure you're comparing those food labels, make sure that they're reading where are those trans fats, and I think that's becoming a little bit more known today, people reading the nutrition labels, but again, you have those that have no idea how to read a nutrition label. So you just want to make them aware of the healthy versus the unhealthy fats, those saturated versus the unsaturated fats. And also, kind of going along with that is that sodium and cholesterol. Those are going to also, you just want to keep an eye on those as well, because those can also help with that blood flow whenever you decrease those as well. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Do you guys have any questions so far? You good? Okay. So you just want to make sure, you know, just eating that balanced diet, and again, heart healthy is also brain healthy. So when we're looking at the My Plate, I'm sure you guys see this all the time, especially Amanda. You know, good nutrition is going to be important for not only our brain, but just our overall health. So just making sure that we're not just saying a diet out there, because I'm not a fan of the word diet. I just like to say a healthy lifestyle. You're making those healthy choices that are good for you. You're not following some kind of crazy diet that says you can't have this, 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 and this. So I always say everything in moderation. So, you know, if you do talk to anyone, you know, tell them about choosemyplate.gov. It has a lot of different information on there that is very beneficial for them. It's going to talk to them not only about heart-healthy diets, but just a healthy lifestyle in general. And the purple sheet that I gave you guys, and we won't go through it, it's just kind of for your own benefit. This is from choosemyplate.gov, so that just has some really great information as far as it's broken down into age and your servings of each of those food groups. So that's just kind of a nice, and online it's like a nice colored copy too. So if that's something that your patients would be interested in, definitely send that their way. It's very good how it breaks it down into age, specific for them. Okay, so when you guys are looking at this, what do you think we could do to make this a little bit healthier?
Some green or some orange or some red on it.
Get some more color. I always say eat the rainbow. So maybe add like a spinach salad or something in there. What could we top that spinach salad with?
Walnuts.
Yeah, walnuts for those omega-3s. We could do like some olive oil. Yep, strawberries, definitely. Maybe have like throw in a smoothie, a blueberry smoothie in there. You guys have that recipe? What about the mashed potatoes? What could we maybe substitute for that? Maybe some kind of vegetable? Maybe like some carrots, we could substitute that in there. Maybe
Would
instead
a baked potato be better than the mashed potatoes?
Sweet potato probably.
A sweet potato would be a really good option because you're going to get that rich, those carotenoids from it. So I would definitely say sweet potato would be good.
Get rid of the fried and make grilled chicken.
Definitely. Make that grilled chicken. How could we cook that chicken? Like grill it with
olive oil or something.
Yeah, with olive oil, yeah. Either do it on the grill, or if you're going to do it in a skillet, put some olive oil in there because you're going to get that benefit from the omega-3s, definitely. What about that biscuit? What could we maybe substitute there? Maybe like a whole grain, you know, roll or a piece of bread or something would be good. Maybe not this, you know, enriched white flour biscuit. So those would be some really great ways. And then, you know, for dessert, add in a blueberry smoothie or something like that. Those would be really good. So you guys got the hang of this.
Well, yes, it is. That's what it looks like.
Is it Kentucky Fried Chicken?
It looks like it is.
There's the receipt right there. There's a receipt.
Oh, it's a little blurry. I can't tell. That looks like a T. I don't know. You never know where it could be from. It looks like Kentucky Fried Chicken to me. So yeah, so good job. So those are some ways that we can substitute that plate. So these are just some different ways that, you know, we can kind of exercise our brain, not only for eating, but we're also wanting to exercise our brain as well and really help, you know, help slow that memory loss. So, you know, anything from learning a new skill, if you want to take up a new hobby, you know, crocheting, anything possible that you could do, you know, volunteering at go to the school. If you guys have grandkids or kids at home, go to their school, like help out with their events because they're going to be doing these new crafty things and, you know, different relays and I don't know what all they do these days. But helping out with those, helping out with like a vacation Bible school or something at your church, or anywhere in the community, and also just spending time with family, go to different museums, go do some things that involves some different kind of skills, or go for bike rides, go do some different things that are going to be helping with that brain function. And then also some memory tools, anything that's going to help you remind you of things. I don't know about you, I have Post-it notes all over my desk, because if someone tells me something, I'm not going to remember it in 5 minutes, because I just have so much stuff going, and it's like, that's my way to remember things. Or if you have a to-do list, I love to-do lists, I love just like marking things off, making little notes to yourself, like go pick up, I don't know, anything. Or if you need to go get something at the grocery store. I always try to remember a grocery list, and I'm like, oh, I'll remember everything. It's like 5. No, I always forget something. So, make those grocery lists or whatever you need to do. Some other things you can do just to help you kind of jog your memory on where you did things or where you put things. Put your glasses in a certain area, especially if you're blind like I am, and sit them somewhere. Put your wallet, your purse, and your keys somewhere. Obviously with us women, we're going to have a purse. Usually we're going to have our wallet in there. But as far as your purse, I always hang mine on my kitchen. I have like a big, like a bar stool kitchen table. So my purse just hangs up on one of those chairs all the time. So, for men, maybe they can have like a little basket area by the door. They can like sit their wallet and their keys too, and your keys. Make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Rest is obviously very important just for many aspects of health. Exercise and eating well, obviously that's very important. If you are, drinking alcohol, just make sure it's in moderation. Be smart about it. We all know that, we're adults. And then get help if if there's some individuals that are feeling very depressed for weeks at a time, definitely getting some help is going to be very beneficial for them, because sometimes they're just not going to be able to really help themselves. Okay, cheesy joke. What do you call a hat for a brain? For the brain. A thinking cap. Okay, I want you guys to take a second and count how many squares you think you guys see, and I'll give you like 30 seconds, and then I'll ask you guys how many you think you see. Working the brain a little bit. You guys got a number yet? What do you guys think?
12.
Okay, I think I hear a max of 12. 8. Okay. Well, there's actually around 14. Yeah, I was gonna say there's about 14. Because if you think, you got to remember all these squares, the big square. Yeah. So just all the individual ones. There's one here. There's one here. So this is just one of those brain teasers, kind of got your brain to going a little bit. So these are some really great brain teasers to help with keeping your memory sharp.
Those up there.
I feel like some of you guys are still looking at it.
The top two of those up there, aren't they rectangles though?
Yeah, those are rectangles. So it would be, yeah. And I don't know how precise they're being. They might be counting these as well. But yeah, so that's just one of the brain teasers you can do. Some other things you can do to kind of work with your brain a little bit, doing some crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. I love Sudoku. I actually have Sudoku on my phone. And that's the awesome thing about technology these days is your iPads, your phones, you can get all kinds of different games on your phone. So, if you're sitting in a waiting room, or if you're on your lunch break, or, if you're sitting getting your oil changed or something, you can have these little games on your phone. Or if you have like little, booklets or something that you like to keep in your purse, those are some great ways. Having some game nights at your house or with some families and friends or something, playing those board games, those are really great at the end, because you just have to think all these locations you have to go. I don't know if anyone's played Ticket to Ride before. It's the greatest game ever. You should play it. But it's just another board game that really gets your yeah, I think it's like probably 8 years old and above, or yeah, but it's a really fun game. They have different versions of it too, so you have to look it up. It's really fun. We play. My brother is like a few years older than me, and we have a blast with it, so it's a lot of fun. It's a good group activity. Like I was saying earlier, knitting, painting, drawing, you know, take up a new hobby because that's really great, especially with Pinterest. There are so many things you can do on Pinterest these days, you know, anything from furniture to clothing to hair, you know, you can do so much with it. Taking up a musical instrument. I know as we're you know, the older you get, the harder it is to learn, you know, a new language or take on those musical instruments. But that is something, it's going to be really beneficial. It's going to get your brain to work in, doing some new things. And then staying up to date on technology. That's, I think, it's very important, not only for our brain health, but, you know, just for all aspects of everything these days. Obviously, when we're being physically active, that is very beneficial, but there are some studies that were showing that dancing was actually found to be the #1 physical activity to decrease that risk of dementia, and which is just really interesting. So, you know, with all those exercise classes, I don't know if any of you guys do like Zumba or, isn't there like Pulse? I don't do them, I'm not coordinated for them, but there's a lot of different exercise classes that you could do, and not only dancing, but just physical activity in general. So there's a lot of different things. There's yoga, there's biking, if you like to run or hike. There's a lot of different things, you know, but you want to make sure you're getting a variety. You know, go for a bike ride one night, go for a hike one night. I'm trying to find all the local parks around here and go hiking around here. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You know, it's never too late, you know, as this Dr. Kemperman was saying, you know, we can reduce the effects of aging on the brain with a sustained, active, and challenging life, even if this stimulation is only begun in middle age. So don't feel like it's too late because, you know, there's still some skills that we can have up until 60 years old or older, you know. You just have, you know, no, not just 60. That's just what the research was showing. No, anything is going to be beneficial. You know, just getting those healthy, you know, getting those healthy fats in, getting those healthy diets and those healthy the antioxidants into our diets too. So not just till 60. So this is your to-do list, or if you want to take it back to your patients or something, you know, just making those, incorporating those antioxidant-rich foods so that we were talking about. So the vitamin B, C, and E, those baby carotenoids, and the selenium that we were talking about. You know, enjoy your blueberries because there's some studies showing that those can help increase that cognitive or decrease the cognitive decline that individuals can get. And also try to get 2 servings of those fish or some kind of omega-3 fatty acids a week. And going along with the nutrition, again, those decreasing your saturated fats and those trans fats, and just in general too. I mean, if you have any heart issues or anything like that, that's just going to be beneficial overall. Exercising your brain, you know, be physically active, but also challenge your brain too with those different, you know, Sudoku or whatever that you enjoy doing. So if you do want some more information, this is the website to Notre Dame. To North Dakota State University, Indy. This is their website. They have a lot of great information, as well as Purdue Extension has some really great information as well. This is just the curriculum out of that university extension, so they have some really great things. Choose My Plate also has some really great things as well. So if you ever do have questions, you know, definitely call me up. I'm just right down the road. It took me about 2 minutes to get here. So. And I don't know if you guys mind, and it's a voluntary thing, but with the extension, there's always surveys and post-surveys. So this is something that will go back to North Dakota just about this program and how you guys felt about it, if anything needs to be improved, what you learned kind of thing. So if you guys don't mind, I don't know if you want to, I know we're kind of up on time, you could take it and mail it back to me or whatever is easiest for you. But
Or fill it out, give it to me, I'm
okay,
going to see you later on tonight.
Cool. So I'll let you guys pass those around. So if you guys don't have any questions, that's all I got for you. Yeah.
I didn't hear you mention anything about vitamins. Does that have anything to do with anything?
Well, you, like supplement vitamins? Yeah. I mean, that could definitely be beneficial. If there is,
I'm almost 60.